Oh, I was listening to the album this morning, and for me the song sounds more like riff based this time. So, in a musical sense, what inspires you this time around?
Well, for us, we knew right from the start we wanted to do something that was a little more straightforward. Hard rock. We knew that this time we were going to produce it ourselves. So knowing that we went for a little different song writing approach. And we also knew that we wanted to incorporate, because we have two guitarists now, so we wanted to incorporate the other guitar in a good way, and also do a little more up tempo songs, since we found that when playing live, uh, having too many slow tempo songs can really drag down the live set. So to give that our live performance some energy, we wanted to have a little more fast songs to be able to play. So all that together, I think combined, uh, it it came together and made this album the way it is.
Oh, all right. So, as you said before, you produce yourself this time the album, not Chris Laney. And how was the experience? Would you do it again, producing yourself the
Uh,
album?
well, for me, I think it was a very good experience because first of all, it proved to us that we're able to do it ourselves. Economically, it's a lot better to do it like this because the producer like Chris Lane does cost a lot of money, and in this time when you don't expect to sell as many albums as you did perhaps 10 years ago, you really have to mind the cost of producing the album itself. That means that we don't want to cut corners on the quality. So what you get when you produce yourself, as we did, is also a lot more time to be able to do all the details that you might want to do. Um, so a big difference was this time we had uh, a lot more time to do the recording, and if we felt like something didn't work for one day, we could just go home and rehearse it some more, or figure out some new details and then just add it along the way. So so it was a big difference, and for me personally, I really like this way of doing it. And the problem is that you lose the input from one person. So naturally, you get one less creative mind in the process. But on the other hand, you do get a lot more time to work on the ideas that you yourself get. So I really enjoy the way of the work.
All right. So, for you at least, what is the main difference between this Riot Avenue and the first two albums? Is it the production, or maybe the style change a bit?
Well, for me, I think we've come a bit closer to defining perhaps a more typical Crazy Lixx sound, whereas on the other two albums we did try to borrow from different bands, influence from different places, and perhaps the result was not as coherent as this one, where we had some songs that were really really different. And I know for some people they quite enjoy an album that's more dynamic in that sense. But I think that on this album uh, there's more of a personal sound on this one, and I think that's pretty natural because we've done two albums before, and we're all the time we're getting closer to sounding as Crazy Mix, instead of perhaps sounding on one song like Def Leppard, on another song like Motley Crue or something like that. So I think that's the difference. And of course, the addition of one more guitar player is a bit different. So I think we've reached a place where it's more straightforward riff based rock music, opposed to the other albums.
As you said before, you have a second guitarist now. It was a must to include a second guitar player. Do you think you can do the same Riot Avenue album with just one guitar?
reason we added one more guitar player to start with was right after the release of the last album, New Religion.
Yeah.
When we were going to start touring, we kind of noticed already when rehearsing the songs that we did have problems doing all the guitar parts that were recorded on the album with just one guitarist. So basically, the second guitar player, Ed, he was added already on the tour for New Religion, and we felt that that gave an extra dimension to the live set. We were able to do a lot more of the guitar stuff that we did. On this new album, we've written the song with two guitars in mind. So I think taking away one guitar would be quite difficult by now, especially on these new songs.